Hey guys, table time. First, we've got this mock-up of what I'm planning on doing. It helps to find the amount of wood I need and the general vibe of what I'm going for. Just a nice little swoop. For the math, I just took the volume of the blocky shapes and then divided it by 3.5 squared. This takes away like the area of the beam, so it's just giving me the length. For this guy, it's about 30 feet, and I'm also going to lose about half of this, so I probably should have spent more time on like shaping, but you know, the grinder's fun to use. The wood is cheapest in 8-foot lengths, so it's kind of sick. 32 is the nearest multiple. I've also got a friend wanting to use the rest of it, so it just works out perfectly. For this piece, I need 12 10.5 inch, 8 14 inch, and 6 21 inch beams. It's way more uniform than the chair's construction, so it's a wee bit easier. For this one, I'm going to be a bit more careful about the fitment between blocks. I think I'm going to work on the mating surfaces a little before the first glue up. Also think I'm going to avoid using pegs. The glue is strong as hell, so they're just a bit redundant. I'm just laying the blocks next to each other and seeing if they're slightly out of square. Then I sand until it's all solid, and then draw on the pieces so they're marked for the exact placements. I messed that up with the chair when I was moving it from room to room, and the fitment really suffered for it. And now it's time to glue. I only have 4 big clamps, so I'm doing batches, which is taking forever. I'm just lathering each side with Titebond and smushing them together, making sure to keep them as flat as possible so they're more flush when I stack the layers. Okay, now I just need to sand down the faces so they actually touch, and then we're on to gluing again. Use the belt sander to get it mostly flat, and then honed it a bit by grinding it on the cement floor. This allowed me to see the high spots, and then I just sanded them away with a little hand sander.
There you go. I'll fit it up. Kinda. Mostly. I got annoyed, so it's just kinda there.
Lining up the slabs when gluing was an absolute pain, but eventually got the hang of it. Since I didn't make them flat enough, I need to clamp them super hard, and the glue needs to cure fully between layers so they don't rip back apart. And that just means more waiting.
So I traced out the first side contour. It's just like the flat side, and I'm just gonna cut strips in the saw and then come out, and it should work out a bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna cut slats around edges and then kind of knock them out so I can get most of the bulk out before I start using
The angle grinder. My approach to carving was basically to scribe the contour onto one of the directions of the wood and then cut it out. I tried to keep things relatively uniform, but just kind of embrace the variance, which definitely isn't me just excusing mess ups.
First day, that's the contour pretty much put in.
Then rinse and repeat for the second side. Yeah, guess I got a bit carried away. I just finished up the rest of the bulk removal and then glued it back together before carving at it again. It was a little awkward to get clamps onto this thing, so I decided to leave some space in the wood glue for some super glue to act as a stand-in. I also put a bunch of weights on the corner of the table to counterbalance the large lever arm of the surface. Once I got the basic shape, I started to chamfer all the edges, slowly subdividing the corners until it smoothed out to a pretty uniform curve. Just kind of went by eye and feel. Okay, I think I'm done with the carving. Now I just gotta sand and then finish off the piece. Oh wait, I actually use these things. So that means review time. These things are great. I'm gonna sand now. This is after 60 and 100 grit. Pretty happy with it. There's still a couple gouges, but I mean, honestly, looks kind of cool. So I'm gonna keep those. But yeah, now I'm gonna make some filler out of sawdust and mix it with some wood glue and jam it in all the little cracks. Last time I used filler from a tube, and I kind of hated working with it. This, I have full control of the texture and workability, so it's absolutely lovely to use, but it's a hell of a lot harder to sand. Yeah, sanding sucks, but it's way better than using something that only kinda works. Plus, it takes on the color of the oil. So that's all the holes and stuff filled. It's kind of smooth. Honestly, probably just good enough. So last time I used teak oil on the chair, and I feel like it's a bit dark for this kind of design, so I'm gonna go with linseed oil. Hopefully that is more just like wood color. I got some oiled linseed oil and mineral spirits to thin it down so it can actually soak in the wood, and then I've got a tinfoil lined little bowl thing because it's a very exothermic polymerization. Or yeah, when it hardens, it just gets really hot. So sometimes it can create fires. So this way, I can get rid of it more effectively. So yeah, I'm just gonna jump into it. I'm gonna do half and half. In about 10 minutes, I'm gonna wipe off all the excess and then just keep going from there. So there we go. A whole lot of time and effort for a pretty decent table. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and have a good one.